We want to do a query here today that will allow us to identify putative drug targets. In order to do that, we would like to identify genes which are expressed in the merozoite, a good time to target for drugs. And we can do that by clicking on microarray evidence. We see there are 5 microarray evidence queries. We look for one that allows us to select merozoite. That would be expression percentile. And we click on that. It takes us to the query page. We will synchronize in either fashion to give us the broadest range. We choose the life cycle stage, merozoite, and we choose the minimum expression percentile, and let's make that 80 just so that we get things that are highly expressed. Choose get answer. There are 1,151 genes which have expression in the merozoites. We can also bolster these results by looking for evidence that the proteins are present at that time by clicking on protein mass spec, doing protein expression. Again, we can choose a life cycle stage of merozoite. We'll take the defaults for the coverage and number of spans. We choose get answer. There are 351 genes which have evidence for their proteins being present at the merozoite stage in development. We would also like to join this with a query for putative function. So if we click on our Go terms to do gene ontology function queries, we can use catalytic activity in order to get at enzymes. We could also click the AmaGo link down here and go to the Go site and choose the actual Go ID, but catalytic activity will work fine. We'll do this in Plasmodium falciparum. Choose get answer, and we see there are over 1,100 which meet those criteria. We click on query history. You can see that our counter here has counted the 3 queries that we've run. Now we have query 1, which is expressed in the merozoite. Query 2 is protein expression. Query 3 is our Go terms. We can combine these results by just typing 1 and 2 and 2 and 3, and this will allow us to intersect these, and we find out that there are 79 genes which meet all 3 of those criteria. And you can see here that these are in fact enzymes and enzymes that are likely to be well conserved. We can also add to this query by looking for only those enzymes which are under purifying selection, i.e. mutations which result in amino acid changes are deleterious to the function of the gene. We can do this using SNPs. We have a variety of strains that SNPs have been identified from. We'll just choose 3D7 as our reference, which is actually the reference genome that has been sequenced completely. It turns out that it works really well when you're looking for things under purifying selection to choose Reichenowie, which is a very closely related species of Plasmodium. We're interested in coding SNPs, so we can limit the number of coding SNPs to be at least 20, so we have a fairly robust measure. We can also then limit the ratio of the non-synonymous to synonymous SNPs. In this case, let's make this very low because we want things that are highly conserved. So let's say 0.25. And just for interest's sake, let's sort this by the non-synonymous to synonymous ratio so that we can see that our query is working. We choose get answer. It turns out there are 110 SNPs, 110 genes which contain SNPs which have a very low non-synonymous to synonymous SNP ratio and at least 20 coding SNPs, which is the sum of the synonymous and non-synonymous SNPs. Now if we go back to our query history, we can intersect our new query for SNPs with our previous query and get the result. We have a large query that we've done, now we've decreased those 79 results down to 12 of the most highly conserved genes, or genes which are under stringent purifying selection, and therefore might really be good drug targets.